All right, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 201. We finished 200 episodes. I think it's time to finally go back to our roots. That's right, we need a dog movie. We need a cop dog. We need a ghost dog. We need a man in a leash walking around on all fours. We need a Gary Busey.
Return. Tradition.
There's tradition on this goddamn podcast, and I will hear nothing bad about it.
I need pictures of Gary Busey in a cage!
Oh, wait, what do we have?
A dog. I know. But I'm not a total dog.
This isn't Gary Busey. What the?
Dogs. They're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Hey, they're the dog people, aren't they?
Friday on PAX TV, Rover has crossed over.
It's my phone!
Jack Wagner stars in this PAX original tale about a cop and his dearly departed dog.
I know that he's here with us right now.
He's in for a rough time when the pooch returns in the body of a criminal.
Modeling time for the old doggy door.
Ghost Dog, Friday night at 8, 7 Central on PAX TV.
It's Gary Busey for sickos.
Isn't that Gary Busey? Wait. Anyway, welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is Rough Cuts. We watch movies with dogs in them and then rate the dogs at the end. This is about as rough cuts of a Rough Cuts movie I think we've ever seen. I'm Boix. This is Ilion, co-hosting.
Hi. So I had a bingo card that just had, for some reason, there was a weird misprint on it that just said fetish shit in every single column.
Oh, instead of
and
dog
I still
movie.
got a blackout. I don't. I still managed to get all of it.
Well, if the bingo card, if every spot on the card said fetish shit, you would just mark off all of them at once, right? Like, it has to be different fetish shit. It wouldn't be the same. Oh, it was different.
Yeah. And it was really
Oh.
weird. It was really weird that I thought, again, there was a mistake because the free space also said Kramer Kid, and I thought, what the fuck could that mean?
What does Kramer Kid mean?
And then I checked it off.
This is about as dog movie of a dog movie that we could watch. This is a made-for-TV.
sucks!
It's pretty bad. This is a made-for-TV movie called Doggone for packaging. On official release on television for PAX TV, which is basically your Hallmark channel of the 2000s.
Yeah.
This was called Ghost Dog, a detective tale. And
Tail.
and way back when in episode 1 and 2, we watched a movie called Cop Dog,
Yes.
which was about a ghost dog, and there was no cop dog.
No.
And then we watched a movie called Karate Dog, which was about a cop dog and not a karate dog.
Correct.
And then we joked about, well, we got to watch Ghost Dog, but that is the rapper movie or whatever.
Yeah, Ghost Dog Way of the Samurai. I don't think that's a rapper movie.
I don't know what
That's
that
Forrest
movie is.
Whitaker. What the hell are you talking about?
You sure it doesn't star RZA or somebody? Like, I'm joking. But well, it's gotta have Wu-Tang. It's called Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai. Come on.
Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children. You know what I mean?
Anyway, so we were joking, like, oh, well, where's the Ghost Dog movie? Surely we'll get a Ghost Dog movie. And now, 200 episodes later, we not only found the Ghost Dog movie, but also the Cop Dog movie that is the Ghost Dog.
It's just all the same. It's all wrapped inside of itself.
It's like
It's a
poetry. It rhymes.
It's a horrible Ouroboros of our entire podcast.
And the cover of this, I actually do remember seeing this cover on rental shelves at like the Hollywood Video or the Blockbuster back in the early
Really?
2000s.
Huh.
And I only remember it because of this lenticular cover of a man turning into a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both in collars, by the way, which is not sexual in any way.
There's a lot of not sexual content in this movie.
Leash, huh? I feel for you, kid.
And the only thing about this cover is it shows the dog wearing sunglasses, and that does not happen. That is not it. But it also shows Howie with the bone in his mouth, which is
That
not,
also does not happen.
which doesn't happen, and is also not.
But it is
fetish content.
implied.
No, it's implied that
It's
Howie's
definitely
love
implied
bones.
that there's a bone in Howie's mouth for a lot of this movie.
The tagline for this film is "This old dog just learned some new tricks," which is not remotely related to the plot in any way,
No.
shape, or form.
Also, Doggone is a terrible name for this.
It's such bad SEO, and it doesn't
Not
even
only-
make sense to the story. And
Yeah, I was gonna say I just mean like just in general, like terms of plot or whatever. Like that. What does that mean? That has nothing to do with anything about this movie.
no,
The first name of it, like the cop dog or a detective's
Ghost
tale
dog.
or whatever, ghost dog, a detective's tale, does make sense. It's overly wordy, but at least it fucking matches what the fucking movie is.
I think they couldn't call it Ghost Dog because of other movies called Ghost Dog, so they had to change it.
Yeah,
And,
fair enough.
and
Yeah,
now
I
this
understand
is
where
one
you're
of
going
like
with
3 movies we know of called Doggone.
Yes. Well, because they went with when they made this movie, and they went, well, we can't have a name like a good movie
Yeah.
like Ghost Dog Way of the Samurai, and everybody else went, well, we can name our movie Doggone, right? And they went, yeah, I don't think there's anything else like that. And
No,
they
I
never
don't think
bothered
so,
because nobody gives a fuck about this thing for a good reason.
The website for this is still available on Archive's Wayback Machine, which is what I searched, and that's where I got that funny GIF of the cover from. I did some research.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lenticular GIF that you sent me.
Yep.
And I'm like, how did you even do that? All right.
I found that in the wild. But let
Well,
me.
anyways, should
let
we
me-
talk about the movie?
Yeah, let me read the back of the cover. Let's set the scene
Yes,
here.
of
Let's set the
course.
scene.
Okay, yeah. Put me into the zone. I'm whisk me away, boys.
Warning: this is a cop movie.
Fuck.
As we've been mentioning the whole time. Kyle's police partner
Stop whisking.
and best friend Hunter is loyal, smart, brave, and oh yes, he's a dog. Unfortunately, during a stakeout to capture a shady criminal named Biggs, Hunter is shot. This is not unfortunate. This is the cop being a dumbass, by the way. This has nothing to do with unfortunate.
No. Yeah.
Kyle tries to save his loyal companion, but there is nothing he can do. Hunter is gone. Or is he? Soon after the tragic stakeout, odd things begin occurring at Kyle's house. Convinced that it is the ghost of Hunter, he summons the help of Madame Wanda and her son Howie to communicate with Hunter. Wanda performs a seance, and during the ceremony, Howie begins to act strange, scratching himself, sniffing everything in sight, and as we find out, much more. It's Hunter. Hunter has taken over Howie's body. With his old canine friend back at his side, in Howie's body, Kyle sets out to find Biggs and bring him to justice.
I really feel like this is setting up that Howie does not have a soul.
I-
Howie's a shell. You can just shove anything in there.
During this movie, Howie does not exist.
Also,
at
you can
all.
just shove anything in Howie is not a thing that I should have said.
No,
considering
you said
this
it.
movie.
No, you said it. That happened.
Howie's a shell. You can just shove anything in there.
We've seen a lot of movies of Gary Busey walking around on all fours with a collar.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is worse.
In
In every way.
Worse.
In every way. Like-
Way worse.
There's a line where you cross between this is a family film, by the way. PG,
mhm.
family on the title, family on the box.
Yep.
There's a line that you cross where you're like, oh, that's a funny situation, and you're like, that's just fetish.
I mean, so the thing is, I mean, like, so we're saying this is a family film, right? Like, it's a
Uh-huh.
family show. You know what else was a family show, Boykes? That's right, The Aristocrats.
It's true. It's true.
It just gets really weird. Because they have every scene pretty much with Howie / Hunter in it, the possessed
Mhm.
man ghost dog.
They're a hybrid, really. Dog man hybrid.
It gets real weird when they have to decide whether or not to separate them back into their original forms, and that'll basically kill the current thing. You know, But Janeway just comes in and just flips the switch and just does it.
Like, well, we don't want to kill the dog. Hunter isn't gonna die again if we get rid of him, right? I mean, like, but what about Howie? Who?
Yeah.
I'm
God,
sorry.
they care so little about the human involved in this. Howie's a shell. You can just shove anything in there. But they are constantly, like, treating him like a dog. And that might not sound weird, but when it's a lot of the times in a movie where like a dog inhabits a human body, a lot of the tension is how do you hide that they're actually a dog? You're gonna have to try and like pretend that they're human and treat them as human and all this stuff. This one doesn't give a fuck about that. They just straight on go like, oh no, that's a dog. And then they just start like letting him lick their face. Or,
what if we
like,
just did like incredibly degrading shit instead?
Yeah, like they're
Right?
always just sticking him in cages or on like a leash in the yard. Or and all the scenes are scratching behind his ears while he like licks their nose and stuff, and you're going, that's fine when it's a golden retriever. It's a little less fine when it's Zach Ward.
Yeah,
the actor
Zach
for
Ward.
this.
Yeah, from A Christmas Story and
From a Christmas little Scott from a Christmas.
let's talk about the actors a little bit. So yeah, Zach Ward. Zach Ward, who plays a dog. Jet Li style.
Yes.
Or Kate McCucci style.
It's
a little bit of both.
Intersection of Jet Li.
Little bit of an Unleashed situation. Which one?
Man,
yes.
Yeah, we finally merged them together like the Fly.
You get naked in front of them? Them I trust. They never judge me. They're always happy to see me. Oh, I wish there were guys out there like you two.
Be careful what you wish for, because astrologically, shit's about to get very real for you.
It stars Jack Wagner, who is from General Hospital and Melrose Place and a bunch of those other, like, I don't know, sitcom-y dramas / TV movies of Christmas and romance, all the stuff you would expect.
You could barely tell that he was from a soap opera.
And then the other main actor is Daphne, what's her last name? Zuniga. Who is from Melrose Place, but also you might know her better from Spaceballs.
Yes.
As Princess Vespa.
Yo. God, what a long fucking fall that was from that to this.
Yeah, and I was looking at her while we were watching this, and I couldn't quite put where I've known her face from, and it was Spaceballs, so...
How dare you speak to me that way? You will address me in the proper manner as your Royal Highness. I am Princess Vespa, daughter of Roland, King of the Druids.
Oh, that's all we needed. A Druish princess. Funny. She doesn't look Druish.
You get all these, like, TV movie actors together, and Zach Ward, to do... to do this family dog comedy / drama / action film. And you're like, I don't know, who should we get to direct this? The director, by the way, is Worth Keeter, which is not a director I know. However...
Put him in jail!
The reason... I do actually know this director, even though I don't know this director, because this is the director for a large percentage of Power Rangers TV series episodes, specifically the American sitcom sections that were put over the Japanese Sentai shows, as well as the English side for VR Troopers and Big Bad Beetleborgs. Big Bad Beetleborgs, for people who don't know, I just want to go on a tangent real quick.
I don't know enough about Big Bad Beetleborgs.
So Big Bad Beetleborgs is Power Rangers, except all the Power Rangers are 13. And they're followed around by Universal Monster Movie characters, like the Wolfman and the Mummy, and also Jay Leno's ghost.
Jay Leno is alive.
Don't worry about it. And then whenever
that kind of sounds amazing.
And whenever they cut away from the Universal Monster movie shit, it's just back to Sentai Beetleborg fighting rubber monster stuff, and it's great.
3 typical average kids inside a haunted mansion. Just by chance, freed a ghost who made them Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs.
But this is the director of that, and they're like, let's get him to do a dog movie. So what is he gonna do? Well, this Power Ranger stuff is too clean. It's too kid-friendly. Nobody's gonna buy that. So of course we gotta do the most fetish-full content that we could possibly get. There's feet stuff. There's licking faces. There's on all fours.
God, yeah, like how much he's like, oh, I'm used to smelling and licking your feet to Princess Vespa.
Please, Hunter, you're embarrassing me.
But I've loved you since the first time I smelled your feet. I mean, that taco drives me crazy.
This is all fetish. It's all fetish, boys.
I'm a human. You're
a dog. I know.
They're smelling stuff. Not even fucking Barf said that.
I mean, so let me just qualify why I said Worth Keeter for jail. And it's specifically the end where the dog is dying again.
Our second dog death scene, yeah.
Our second dog death scene where the dog soul is leaving the human man's body because his reason for being on Earth is done. And he says final words to everybody and is like licking their faces while he does it, including the 12-year-old child. In a really, like, he starts licking his ears.
It's so gross.
It's
so gross.
You just don't do.
And they're making jokes about him like pissing on them constantly, and I don't.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, you can't take a human being and talk about it in this context and have it be okay.
Bedwetting?
Bedwetting? He peed on me.
Oh, stop it.
Ugh.
This is just sad.
I believe you're
No.
accusing Dr. Barnum.
Stop.
Losing control
Stop
of his
with the
bladder? No, I'm talking about no. I'm talking about you.
This is not how I spend my Sundays.
But until you can control your...
Or at least, normally there's something different about most of these movies where if they're doing that kind of thing, because it's like, oh no, like we need to get him to use the toilet and not go outside. But in this one, they just go, no, let him out. And they just put him outside the first night to go and shit in the yard. And
I mean,
like,
you're a cop's neighbor, and you see the cop chain a guy outside on a collar in his backyard. Are you going to call the cops on that guy? Like, that's just what cops do. Like, they're not going to do anything about it.
Oh, God. It's real weird. So this whole movie,
it's got rancid vibes. The whole film.
Speaking of rancid vibes, one of the big jokes is the
ghost poop.
The ghost poop. So when the dog first shows up as a ghost, the joke is that they know that it's in the room because every single time it walks in the room, it fucking rips a ghost dookie. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Okay.
And why am I right about the worst things, Boix? You're right. You are often the one that was always making the correct
today.
choices.
Yeah.
But today it was, I didn't want to be. I didn't. Stop.
Look, you're watching this movie, and you're like, what's the dumbest thing they could do?
What's the dumbest, most disgusting thing they could do?
And then they did that.
And then every time they did it, because there's a big extended scene of the ghost dog ripping one in his office while he's at the police station, and his boss being like, oh my god, I can't believe how fucking rancid you smell. It's awful. On and on and on. And then he goes and sees the, like, love interest vet, police vet, I guess?
Police vet? I don't know what the fuck her deal is.
Because she's supposedly looking after, like, the canine division, But also, all the dogs that she has are like Chihuahuas and Bichon Frise, so I don't.
It's just random dogs, yeah.
Anyway, but she's with him in the car, and I'm like, you smell how rancid I am? That's not me. That's my ghost dog.
Yeah,
and then literally 2 seconds later, she goes, "Oh God, what's that smell?" I'm like, "Oh, fuck off! Come on."
You believe in him?
Ghosts.
Me either.
Yeah,
Not a bit.
definitely don't smell like ghost shit.
Although they do say that ghosts come back.
You should probably roll down the window, though.
This ghost dog keeps shitting all over me.
You've heard that, right?
Oh God, I'm not wrong! Fuck!
Yeah, fine.
God damn it! No! No!
I mean, I know you're under a lot of pressure, you know.
What do you mean?
This guy, Big's got triggers and explosives and the knowledge of how to use them.
They love farts.
I
Yeah.
fucking love joking about ripping ghost dude.
Oh, that wasn't a joke. They just love farts. You don't get it. Like this is.
I thought you were gonna say, "Oh, that wasn't a joke. That was just the actor ripping it," and he just has some real bad problems.
Look, okay, you're on set. You're shooting a movie. You rip ass, and mid-scene, you're like, "Oh, that was just my ghost dog."
That was my ghost dog.
And then the director and the writer are like, "Oh, fuck.
Oh shit!" Cross things out. What if the dogs?
Do you think he does that on other sets? Like he's on General Hospital as a doctor. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's just my ghost dog." I might watch General Hospital if that's what's happening. That sounds great. House shows up. It was not lupus. You're just ghost dog again. Anyway, this movie, huh?
There's so little to talk about.
I mean, okay, I'll talk about the plot a little bit. This is very dog movie coded.
Yes.
But what I don't get, there's some things that don't add up. There's just characters that show up.
Oh, there's so much that doesn't add up.
There's just characters that show up and they have no motivation for why they're doing things, but they're doing it anyway. And I don't get it. But so the movie opens up with a C4 drug house being investigated by a cool dog.
Yep.
And then we find out the dog's a cop and a snitch, and we're like, not a cool dog
No,
anymore.
not a cool dog, actually.
And the dog goes into one of the vehicles parked near the C4 drug house and takes the keys out, brings it to his cop, and he's like, "Here's some keys, cop." And then the cop and the dog. So
this is what they think canine units are.
Like the cop and the dog are having a conversation afterwards about the drug house, and Kyle can apparently just understand dog.
Yeah, he just talks dog. The cop just talks dog.
What are they doing? Just sitting around, huh? Guns?
What the fuck?
Semi-automatics? Are you sure? Anything else?
This is amazing.
What is it, boy?
Goddamn
Something more
narc.
dangerous?
Yeah, fuck this dog.
Come on, I'm not a mind reader.
Which is weird because later on, when Hunter inhabits Howie's body, he can't talk dog anymore, and he has to wait for Howie to learn how to speak human again. Howie Hunter, but he can talk dog. So what?
It's real wild nonsense. There's so many just plot convenient things that just happen in this movie. Like, that's why I'm like, talking about the plot is almost useless. There's so little of it, and also all of it just leads to dead ends and stuff, or just like has characters pop in to be like, "Oh, yeah, that thing happened off screen. Anyways, bye. Sorry, that was Steve, by the way. That was Steve. I'm just here for this one scene later." Like, it's that.
But he goes into the drug house, like, tries to. He's sneaking around, but he's very fucking obvious about it. So the drug dealer / C4 dealers, you can tell it's C4, by the way. It's cardboard boxes labeled C4.
C4 plastique.
That way, when you carry it around in public,
printed
nobody will
paper.
think that that's what you have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They cheese it and run. And then the cop and the dog go after them. Howie's there too, who will be our future dog.
Yeah, because he's apparently a thief, drug dealer, something. I don't know.
I guess. And then the cop arrests Howie, and the other guys get caught by the dog because the dog arrests them somehow. Whatever.
And Howie's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not a terrorist. I'm just a lovable weed dealer guy. I
just
don't
sell
normally do
weed.
this
What
shit.
the hell, man? Yeah.
I don't normally deal in plastique. What?
So then Kyle, our cop, goes home for the night, picks up a box of donuts from his floor,
Yes.
and then gets really
Box of
sad.
very plastic donuts.
He gets really sad, jumps on the couch, turns on his cop porn,
God.
and then just starts masturbating while whining about women. Which sounds like a joke. Don't get me wrong. That is what happens.
Don't worry. I mean, to be fair, most of the misogyny in this movie, and there is a lot of misogyny in this movie, but most of it really comes from the 12-year-old. So, I mean, that's...
Yeah, so, okay, the 12-year-old shows up. The 12-year-old shows up. We thought this was his kid. Like, he's single dad.
It's the only thing that makes sense, because the kid's just in the house. Like, well, he's sitting there he's watching a cop show, is why you're saying it's cop porn, because he's Squads or something, they have like a fake
It's
cops.
one of those shows where cops go around and harass people.
Yeah, and he's sitting there going, man, I wish I could do that.
But I'm just a canine cop. Women don't like me.
And then this kid just walks into the scene, and so you're like, oh, okay, it's his son.
No. It's his neighbor? Question mark?
They never explain.
This
they
is what
never
we meant by
explain.
Kramer kid. He just
It's
shows
Kramer
up.
kid.
He opens the door and shows up in the scene.
Just clap.
Everybody claps and like, whoa, it's Kramer kid. I hope he doesn't say those words.
God, no.
And then he starts doing a bunch of misogyny. You're like, oh, whew.
He's a weird guy, isn't he?
Hey. He's constantly like, women. And you're like, it's not any better if it's a child that says it. It's not just suddenly funny because it's the 12-year-old.
But his only point for existence is to help complain about this cop's love life.
Yes. Boy, you're fucking pathetic, dude. Why don't you bang any chicks?
Like, what kind of he's a cop, but what kind of a pathetic loser do you have to be where some neighbor kid has to come by and is like, wow, you suck.
God, you're really terrible. That's his whole point in the movie, yeah.
You know what? I'm starting to come
that
around.
And what happens to him at the end, which I
the gross
the
shit.
other the other prediction that I made.
There was a prediction?
Don't you remember the moment where I'm like, so the bad guy dies at the end of the movie by falling off.
Oh,
the
that
building.
prediction!
And I was like, because the 12-year-old is there during the final shootout. The kid's just like sitting there hiding behind boxes and stuff. And I'm like, why is he there? I'm like, is it just so the cop can be like? And the cop's like, hey, you just stay here and just watch. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna show you a dead body. And then 5 seconds later, they throw the guy off the roof, and they're looking down. They're like, whoa, man, he's real dead, kind of thing. And then the kid's head pops up into frame. He's like,
oh,
wow,
a dead body.
A fucking dead body. And I'm like, God damn it. God damn, why am I right about the worst shit? Why would they do that in this fucking family film? What was that a joke?
Hey kid, you want to see dead body push a guy off a fucking roof?
Yeah,
like come on, man.
That's totally what happened. Hey, kid, come see this. It's like a live episode.
Doing that, but they usually land on their feet.
Oh my God! Why am I right about the worst shit in this? Oh, God damn it.
Anyway, so Kyle decides to go get Biggs, who was the guy who wanted the C4 from the C4/drug dealers.
Yes, so there's a shadowy other criminal on top of this. Yeah.
So he goes out to the junkyard / concrete tube farm.
Yes.
And is rolling around in the inside of the tube, starts climbing up on top of them. The perp, the criminal, is not anywhere near there. He's just standing around on the ground doing nothing. And then the cop trips while doing parkour like an idiot and breaks his leg. And he's like, oh no, they got me. I better call for backup.
I just got assaulted by this suspect.
Fucking idiot. And then our dog, Hunter, gets the suspect, like, go towards him, jumping towards him. He's like, I found you. You're dead. Dead meat, dog. And then Briggs shoots him. And then it hard cuts to the dog on the vet table with the beeping noises, like, of his
like
heart
a
rate at a hospital. And the vet's like, I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do. Your dog Hunter was shot and is going to be super dead in, like, 2 minutes.
And they have, like, a white bandage just wrapped around his middle. And then they just do, when you say he'll be dead in, like, 2 minutes, you do mean in movie time, because they've got to have the dramatic melodrama.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have, like, the general hospital.
Yeah, the sad music plays. Like, Kyle walks up.
Rubbing the paw of the dog and going, no, Hunter, what will I ever do without you anymore?
You were my favorite dog. I loved you so much. Oh my god. Who's a dog? Who's a dog? You're a dog. Which again sounds like a joke, but...
Mm-hmm.
Who's a dog? Who's a dog?
Who's a dog?
Who's a dog?
You're a dog.
Who's the dog?
Oh.
I was going to say earlier, when you read the synopsis on the back of the box, like the setup for, the dog dies and then gets the ghost inhabits this drug dealer friend kind of thing. Like, yeah, that whole extended setup for the movie, like, that's obviously the setup, takes what, 25 minutes?
Maybe 20. It's even less, I think.
I mean, that's too long, though, honestly.
Yeah. True.
It stretches out the melodrama at the beginning of this movie so goddamn hard. It is.
Cop Dog hit that dog with a car in 10 minutes.
Right? Like, get to dog death. I'm a busy person. I got things to do on my Sunday mornings besides this.
So Kyle goes home and he's traumatized from his dog dying. And then spooky ghost shit starts happening. And there's like floating bowls and a floating ball. And
you can barely see the strings.
Sorry, strings? No, it's on VHS. I couldn't see any strings. If it was higher quality video, for sure.
You definitely would, yeah.
But so then Kyle goes to bed watching his cop porn again. And wakes up. He's like, oh, God, licking my face. Oh, Hunter, stop licking my face. Because the ghost dog's kissing him with his, ghost licks. And then Kramer Kid walks up and he's like, hey, what the fuck? Why you keep grabbing my shit and throwing it around, you piece of fuck?
Yeah, the kid's all mad at him. I forgot about that. How much he's just ripping into this cop.
And then they're both realizing, ghost dog.
Maybe the dog's still alive.
I think this is also the first case of ghost dog taking a shit. I don't know. Somewhere around here.
Yeah, somewhere in here. There are a lot of scenes of Ghost Dog taking a shit, which is really amazing considering Ghost Dog is in this movie for 10 minutes?
It's very little time, yeah.
Or less?
But so the bad guy's making C4s, explosives again, and listening to classical music because they're trying to make him cool, and he's not. And we also find out that he's an ex-cop.
Yes.
Which means the FBI in the precinct knows about him. And he just got released from prison 2 weeks ago. Or whatever.
And they just decide not to do anything about him.
And they're just not going to follow up on it, yeah.
So why is he doing this?
Anyway.
So anyways, the dog and,
What's he going to blow up with that C4?
Why is he going to do it?
Yeah, but then it cuts from there to the vet's office, I guess. And oh no, Kyle's driving in his van, the vet van?
He's in the vet van
because now he needs rides home because he can't drive, I guess.
I
don't know what's up with that.
I don't know.
But this is when the dog shits in the van.
This is the dog dookie that I called.
and Kyle's asking vet Princess Vespa.
Yes.
About the paranormal activity that he saw on Discovery. channel.
Mhm.
And have you seen Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures?
Do you believe in
Is that stuff
ghosts?
real? I heard them pick up audio on this really shitty microphone that's $10 on Amazon.
Yeah, there's like this radio, and it was, doing spooky sounds.
Yeah, and they have this device that goes between 100 different radio stations at rapid speed. So if it picks up any audio that sounds like human speech, you might just think it's the radio station that's playing. But no, it was a ghost. Do you think that's real?
I was watching the Discovery Channel the other night, and they had a show on the paranormal.
Oh.
And?
What do you think of that?
Well, I don't get cable, but I hear it's a good channel.
Have you
No,
ever
I mean,
smelled
what do you
ghost
think
shit?
The ghosts and all.
I think they're fine. I mean, you can't go wrong with the classics. Next year I'm going as a pumpkin.
No, I'm not talking about costumes. I'm talking about real ghosts.
No, ghosts aren't real, but ghost farts are.
That was my ghost dog ghost farting.
That was my
It
ghost
wasn't
dog
me.
ghost
I don't
farting.
smell like that.
Yeah, I'm just the actor Jack Wagner. I don't smell like ghost farts. Anyway, he goes then from there to a psychic medium, which is Howie's mother.
Yes.
Howie being the guy that he caught the drug dealer.
Just our lovable drug dealer,
Our little
/
scamp.
explosives dealer,
And then he talks the mother
terrorist supplier.
into doing a seance for his dead dog.
Mm-hmm.
Echo te voco. Lego my ego assist me un poco. Necesse est mihi loquar vox vestrum.
Madam Wanda, can you hear me? Of course she can hear you. She's pretending to be psychic, not deaf.
See, I'm entering a trance. You just gotta clap to bring me out of it.
I'm clapping.
Spirit of the dog,
Please
communicate
stop.
with us. I command you, speak, speak.
Don't clap. You're making my psychic mother too strong.
Stop clapping. Stop it. And during the seance, the dog's ghost, I would say inhabits Howie, but I think it's more invasive than that.
It really does feel like that, yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely more than a possession. It's like out of a horror movie when it just
At
like
the end, it really
absorbs.
does feel like Howie was controlled in a way that was very much against his will.
And after he gets possessed, they clap to break the possession, but it doesn't. Because Hunter has decided he is now taking this human man's body.
I am in control of this form. Howie's a shell. You can just shove anything in there.
And Kyle's
Assuming
cool
control
with
of this
this to the point where he's like, "Who's a good dog man? Who's a good dog man?"
Yo,
Who's a
and
man
now this
dog?
is just where we get constant scenes of him like cuddling and scratching and licking the dog and being licked by dog, and it's the rest of this movie is real uncomfortable.
Real uncomfortable. Yeah. He goes home and lets Howie shit all over the place, chew his slippers, lick his face, which he gets fed up with, so then he puts him on a chain outside, which is normal.
Yeah, it raises up a lot of like questions as to how he treats the dog normally.
Yep, and at this point, I think is when Kramer Kid just starts Googling ghosts and the paranormal.
Yes, yeah, Kramer Kid's on his computer, like the cop's computer, Googling stuff.
I guess.
And the cops, don't open that tab.
Don't open that one though.
No, not.
Don't check
look
my
at
search history. Yeah. and they're saying something like he's 100% human
What is
and
this
100%
pup play, sir?
dog.
What is that?
Yeah, and then Howie eats a bunch of chocolate at the precinct that that Kyle's coworker got him. It was just a big bag of Halloween candy for some reason, and his partner got him that, and he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry your dog died. Here's a bag of candy. I ate all the good ones already."
Yes.
All right, man.
Which is almost funny.
But so Howie Hunter eats the bag of chocolate and has a tummy ache. This raises
and the cop.
This raises some
Good.
questions.
Yeah, it really does.
So there's a ghost dog in your human body. Humans can have chocolate. That is not a problem for humans.
As it turns out, yes, yeah.
However, the ghost dog has a stomach ache.
It was a lot of candy, to be fair.
You might have like a sugar high, maybe a tummy ache. But
maybe.
But Kyle's like, oh, this is a dog.
Yes, the bigger problem is it raises the question of how fucking stupid are the people in this movie?
So why does he do this?
There is no logical, because what he does is he takes the dog down to the vet lady. Sorry, the dog. And by dog, I mean the human man down to the vet lady. Because tummy hurty. Like, that's the other thing, is it's like, okay, it doesn't make sense on every level. Because you're going, okay, human just ate too much candy, has a stomach ache. Would you take somebody to the hospital for that?
No.
But then it's not even, he doesn't even take him to the hospital, he takes him to a vet.
The vet he wants to get with. But she walks in, Princess Vespa. She walks in.
Princess Vespa, please.
Oh, sorry, yeah. But she sees Kyle hugging and kissing and licking and getting licked by Howie / Hunter Dog on her vet table. And she's just like, I don't get paid enough for this. Starts
I'm out.
Fucking leaving. And Kyle's like, no, it's cool. It's just my ghost dog.
And he's got tummy hurty.
Please, I need you to look at my dog. And Howie's like, yep, I'm a good boy. And this is all fetish content.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I mean, he's wearing a collar and a leash during these scenes, too.
He sure is.
Hi. We have a bit of a medical favor to ask.
What?
Oh, wait. Please. I know this looks a little strange, but that is Hunter. He's come back, and he's possessed a human body.
It's true.
I will never understand a man's sense of humor.
And then Kyle's like, no, I'll prove that this is my ghost dog. Hunter, Howie, say something that only my dog would know.
God, right.
And the dog's like, I was part of a litter where I was the only boy. Yeah, but Kyle could have told you that. Oh, well, when I was a couple weeks old, you put me in a tub with you in a shower or whatever, and I saw your birthmark on your leg.
You got all naked. Like,
and I saw your naked body.
When we were 2 weeks old,
we
got into a case of corn.
I guess he is a
we took us
ghost
with
dog.
you into the shower to wash us off. You have a moon-shaped birthmark, right?
All right. Okay. Enough.
When I was dying, you whispered in my ear. You said that you loved me. You said that I was the sweetest.
This is so fucking weird.
Dude, what are you doing here?
I don't know.
You do whatever it took to bring me back.
What vet is doing this? Why is she naked showering with puppies?
That's a problem. Yeah, there's also the other problem where he's constantly talking about how much he loves her because he smelled her feet.
Yes.
And it's not creepy and weird.
No, of course not.
No,
it's a family
dog.
film.
It's a dog. Fuck. So now we have. She decides to help out, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have vet, cop, and Kramer kid.
And Kramer kid.
With this dog man hybrid / possessed ghost dog man. And, you know, every couple needs to find a unicorn that helps them satisfy themselves in the bedroom. I get it. But this is too far.
It's a lot too far. Especially when you just have Kramer kid following and watching all the stuff that's going on. And constantly going, hey, that vet's hot, you should bang her.
Yeah.
Like, that's the vet kid is... They tried to do, like, this nasty, misogynistic, like, sidekick that's all like, hey, man, you should totally get with her. Like, hey, you dog, you. But they were like, oh, that's too gross if we do it as, like, fully grown adult man. let's make it a child. That'll make it better. Then it'll be fine.
Kramer Kid is a Rob Schneider role.
Yes.
Which is something. I think the animal was less gross than this movie.
Yeah.
I'm kind of at that point, I think.
I think so. This thing is just, it's unintentional, I think, in some ways, but man, it's just...
Yeah, I'm sure
it goes way too far.
No, I'm sure it's fine. Anyway, the next scene, Kyle takes Howie Hunter out on a walk on a leash on all fours in public to the pet store after stopping him from pissing on a tree.
Yeah. Which we get to see.
And as Howie is sitting there looking at the window, Kyle's like, I'll get you a bone, but I'm not getting you a cat to eat.
Oh, yeah. Or another dog to fuck.
Or a dog to fuck. Because also the ghost dog in Howie, who is a human, wants to bang real dogs.
Yes. And is well known for banging many dogs, because the vet even makes a whole thing about how every time that he brings the dog down to get looked at, that there's a new litter of puppies. Because they're both terrible at their jobs and just let the dog free.
That was the setup for the ending of the movie, almost certainly, but it's dumb.
I guess. It's really gross.
Dumb. It's also the same ending as Air Bud 5 when they led into the Buddies movies, surprisingly. Anyways.
And Beethoven, second. And,
but it's worse when it's a human.
It's way worse when it's actually a human being that's going, oh wow, I just fathered this dog.
So Kyle's trying to get Mr. Biggs. Remember that? Mr. Briggs?
Oh yeah, right. There's a Mr. Biggs guy.
Biggs, whatever he is.
Doing a terrorism.
C4
every 20
whatever.
minutes. Oh wait, he's gonna blow up a thing somewhere, maybe, I guess.
But the cops don't have leads, but the FBI does. So the main head officer, the sergeant or whatever, is talking to him about it.
He's like, hey, you're not a detective. You're a canine unit.
You're a canine unit. Get the hell out of here.
Not supposed to be doing this. 2, the FBI is on the case because it's federal, because he's going to blow up government buildings, I guess, maybe, we think. And, 3, he has already left town. They've seen him spotted in, a place that's, 10 hours away. Stop investigating this.
And also, I'm putting your fucking dog cop ghost man back in prison because he chewed up my leather shoes. To which Kyle goes, no, that was me, actually. I just really like the taste of leather, if you know what I mean.
I've developed a voracious appetite for leather, sir.
I
just love it. And I'm responsible.
I'm very sexually aroused by leather.
Yes, sir. There's no reason to lock him up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have nothing to add. You're looking at me like I'm supposed to riff on this, but I can't. I don't know what you want me to riff on.
That's just what happened.
Man's eating feet. I don't know.
He loves leather in his mouth from shoes. No, I get it. I understand what they're doing.
I'm glad you do, because I don't. But sure, you go right ahead and admit that, boys. I'm not gonna yuck your yum.
Anyways, the bad cop guy is gonna blow up the dam. In town, yes. I guess. We're just suddenly talking about a dam now.
Yeah, they go into this whole thing where he's like, oh, well, you guys were worried that he was going to dive underwater to blow something up because he's a diver, but he also had the bend. He has the bends.
Currently
and
still.
Bad inner ear. Which is like, wait, what? You can't just, you don't still have it. But he has the bend, so he can't dive anywhere. But the dam's going to lower the spillway, and so then that would give him the perfect time to do an underwater explosion, but it's not actually underwater. And it's like, when did we ever talk about his inner ear?
What?
Or
he
underwater explosions, or that he was a diver? Where the fuck did any of this come from? Like, they just dump all of this at once in a single scene where he just says it all.
So then they go to the dam. And Kyle is just talking to the worker at the dam. He's like, hey, I'm a cop. I need you to, open up the dam and flood everywhere downstream.
Mm-hmm.
It's important and an emergency. And the guy's like, let me call my supervisor. I can't just do that,
warrant?
You fucking idiot.
Like, what the fuck
are you talking about, moron?
Well, no, but you don't understand. My ghost dog partner here that I'm licking the ear of says that it's really going to happen here. he would go back to the other plane of existence if he didn't have unfinished.
Yeah, and that smell, it was ghost shit. It wasn't me. I didn't fart. But he did piss on me. That is human piss on my
That
pants.
is, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have time to change before I came to it was an emergency. Anyways, so Howie and the vet, why is the vet at the dam? What? The vet's here.
The vet's just everywhere with him all the time now.
But
so
yeah.
is the child.
Also, the kids Kramer kids just wandering around with
They
them
are now a 4-person crew, just constantly.
Well-
and they even have little walkie-talkies. And I mean, like, the shittiest dollar store walkie-talkies that they pretend are the police ones.
Yeah, they're 4-person and a ghost dog. Because one of the people
Sure,
is a
I guess
ghost
5.
dog, technically.
Yes.
Maybe it's still 3 people with a ghost. I don't know how this works with Howie. This is confusing.
Howie's a shell. You can just shove anything in there.
I feel 100% human, but I'm still 100% dog.
Anyways,
really philosophical questions here.
Howie is a dog man, jumps on the bad guy and gets him. And they arrest him.
Okay, movie's done. Whew.
And the movie's not over.
But wait, no. Blanks.
The movie's not over. The movie's not over. Anyway, so Mr. Biggs is in prison now. And Howie gets arrested for being a dog during his arraignment hearing. And
because he's also, remember, a drug dealer and explosives supplier.
Apparently.
Like-
And while he's in prison, he hears Mr. Biggs say, "Oh yeah, you'll get it tomorrow. I'm so evil."
Yeah.
So then...
Also, they question, too, because they're like, well, he wouldn't be inhabited by the dog anymore if he still didn't have unfinished business. So the plot's still on. It must be. Otherwise, the ghost would leave.
And I figured out exactly why this is happening. I'm looking at the runtime as we're watching this.
Yes.
We're like, oh, they still have 20 minutes. Oh, that's why.
Oh, we gotta pad this shit.
So then Kyle comes and gets him out of jail again. So there was literally no point for him being in jail again other than to hear Mr. Biggs.
Well, and to pad the runtime. Listen, Boykes, there's only so much fetish content you can stuff in this thing. And also, you put enough fetish content in there to finish, and then you're like, wait, it's only 30.
And you're like, I'm not finished yet. I gotta
keep going.
Yeah. No, I get it. So then Kyle and Howie Hunter Dog go into the interrogation room with Mr. Biggs. And they start assaulting him. To which Kyle is like, if you don't tell me the information I want to know, I'll let Howie suck your balls. Your cock and balls.
Again, I don't have anything to add here because that's just what happens.
That's what happens.
Like schmites. You recognize him?
Jesus Christ.
I'll give you a donut enema.
Sick 'em, boy!
Oh god. Ah, jeez. Oh, fuck. Lock the door. We're doing crime.
I'll get the key from Ops.
Alright. Didn't they just say that they wish that they could,
So what's it
torture
gonna
this
be?
subject?
You gonna tell us
So
what you got
why would they have a problem?
To let my friend here munch down on little kibbles and bigs.
I will also point out, too, that this movie is real confused in some ways, because it's like, oh, the bad guy's an ex-cop, because some cops are real bad and corrupt, and, he planted evidence on people. And then they have the cops in here that are watching the interrogation beforehand, before he goes in. And they're like, man, I wish we were back in the day when we just have a rubber hose and just go to town on this guy. They literally say that in this family film. And then he goes in there and basically does that. And they go, whoa, we better stop him. And you're like, I thought that...
We don't want to be bad cops. Yeah.
But we do. They just said they do. It has no idea whether it thinks that cops do this stuff and are corrupt, or if cops don't do this stuff and are all good and upstanding. It has no idea.
I don't know. But how he
So
smells
confused.
coal on his coat, or his jacket or whatever, when he's assaulting him in the room. And then they just leave, and there's no repercussions for what just happened.
No.
And what they do is coal, oh, that must be the power plant. So they drive to the power plant. And the guy who's at the guard station, the power plant, is like, you can't come in here, man.
What the fuck are you doing?
No, we smell coal. Do you have coal in there? Motherfucker. Man,
fuck off the property.
This power plant got converted 20 years ago. This isn't a coal power plant. The one you want is 100 miles away. You see, when we no longer use coal, it's because we use natural resources like natural gas. And our entire infrastructure has changed. Let me give you a history lesson about the mechanical engineering of the power grid.
The way that he just launches into a full history lesson, like, this is the last coal-operated power plant in the greater Los Angeles area since 19...
Sir, you're a guard. Stop it.
This is your 9 to 5. There's no way that you just sat down and, like, read the employee handbook of all of, like, the company history.
Yeah, man, this plant was converted back in 1980 to natural gas. Now, there is a coal plant, but that's up in Longpoke, about 100 miles away. But around LA, coal was only used for heating. That's only in a couple of them old government buildings.
Yo, thanks, coal educational power, man.
Fucking dropping some history on them.
I didn't know this guy worked for a fucking, like, I don't know, museum of industry or something.
Yes.
Fucking dickhead. And then he's like, well, if it wasn't the coal plant, which is farther away, and it wasn't the power plant, he must be blowing up City Hall. Which makes no fucking sense.
Like, what? Also, how from prison? Oh, don't worry. The answer to that is our cop has to assist him in his escape first.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the self-fulfilling prophecy at this point where this guy is safely in custody. And then when they go in and they set up, like, all right, well, we need to, like, pull the alarm and, like, get everybody out so that we can, evacuate the building and find out where a bomb is and all this stuff. Because, like, there has to be. So they do that. And because of doing that, he escapes.
And then the bomb
and that's how he gets out to do it, yes.
And the bomb set, Howie goes through the vents after releasing other unrelated dogs into the scene, finds the bomb, disarms it, even though he's colorblind, but Howie's not colorblind. Just the dog is, but why would the ghost dog be colorblind if it's in a Howie body?
It raises so many philosophical questions.
And then Biggs takes the vet hostage, all creepy, evil like a cartoon villain.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle has to run to the roof with Kramer Kid.
He's just got the 12-year-old.
And there's gunshots being fired back and forth. And then Kyle, like, distracts the bad guy so that Howie can jump on him and throw him off a roof. No, actually, Kyle throws him off the roof.
No, the cop's the murderer.
They get into the shittiest fist fight ever.
Yes.
And then Kyle throws him off the roof. He's like, well, that just happened.
And when you say throws him off the roof, he does, like, this half shove, and then they do a cut to this dude being, like, catapulted, like, out of a fucking slingshot off of this roof.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild how far they throw him. Like, 10 feet in the air in a huge arc up and over the edge, and you're like, holy shit, this cop's got some fucking guns.
And yeah, you hear that huge splatter.
Mildly touches him.
There's a splatter noise. Everybody's looking over the roof, including the kid.
The kid's head pops up.
And then Howie's like, oh no, I can feel the ghost dog leaving my body. I better lick everyone in the scene one more time. Oh no, my ghost. It's leaving. You two should date.
You two should date. Here, let me get your hands and then... Oh, good ear.
And they're like...
They actually do zoom in on him licking
super
all
gross.
of their ears.
It's super gross. And then it cuts to the next, like, month or whatever. And they're all at home, and Howie's now their friend and life mate partner. And...
I want to know how this relationship went. No, actually, wait. No, I'm taking that back.
And then the vet's talking about being buffaloed again, and I don't want to talk about anybody getting buffaloed one more time. Oh, what a wacky situation this was.
Buffalo.
Those oil company chumps. We buffaloed them.
And then the Kramer kid opens up the door, and the audience starts clapping and laughing because Kramer kid's here. And he brings them a puppy, and that puppy is Hunter's puppy before Hunter turned into Ghost Dog. And now there's like a second Hunter or whatever.
Well, and you assume that it's before that, but Howie's like, well, I don't remember my time as a human and my time as a dog.
It could have been me.
I don't know. I don't think I had anything to do with that. I don't think. And you're like, oh, God, why are they opening this door? Why? No, I think that it's once again
fetish. That's doggone a Ghost Dog, a Detective Tale, I guess. This movie's just fetish top to bottom. It's a top and a bottom. It's a switch.
Just like the cover. That's why the cover
That's why it's lenticular.
That's why it's lenticulated. I get it. Holy shit. It's so deep.
It makes so much... This movie is a film that we watched that I now own.
This thing is filthy.
Yeah, by the way, we did watch this on VHS, which means I own a copy of this, and I think that puts me on a list. Not...
It should.
It's probably the same list that I'm on for owning Strays, to be fair. So I'm already on that list.
I think this is worse than Strays in terms of fetish stuff. Like, it is really hard to explain unless you actually watch this movie, which I do not recommend.
Do not watch this movie.
Which I do not recommend.
There were multiple times where we're both reeling away from the screen like, oh, God, what the...
Like, because you hear he's scratching him behind the ear, and that sounds like it could be just weird and not sexual. But, like, they're always doing it where they're face to face, really
and they get really close with the ASMR licking, and
quietly. And they're just kind of rubbing on each other and scratching.
And they're talking about how they love leather. And
yeah, like, what is happening? What is this movie doing? It's just constant.
Oh man, this is
I don't want to rate Howie.
It feels good to go back to our roots, you know, like this is what started the podcast, and we're back again, and I don't think we learned a single goddamn thing in 200 episodes. We're making the same mistakes over and over again. Anyway,
There's so little dog in this movie too.
Let's rate the dog. Whatever. There's Hunter, who is both a human, a normal dog, and a ghost dog. It's both the father, but the holy. I can't even.
Father, son, and the holy dog.
I can't even do it. I can't even say it. It's too funny.
Father, Son, and Holy Ghost Dog.
I think that technically covers everything.
There you go. That's the rating.
That's the rating.
He's a 3 out of 10 for the Trinity that's inside of him.
I refuse to rate Howie. Howie's a human being, and this is a disaster.
I was gonna say I feel real weird.
Yeah, that's too gross.
Yes.
I will, however, rate the puppy at the end.
We're not Facebook. We're not my.
The puppy's very cute and did nothing wrong.
Correct.
That is a 12 out of 10 dog. And also, of the dogs that were released in City Hall to find the C4 bomb,
yeah,
there's a really good boy.
Yes, there is. There's a fantastic boy.
Go on.
Okay. Yeah, there's one of the really, really old, like, basset hounds, I think.
Like a bloodhound, yeah.
Some kind of hound that's just, like, they open up all the cages for the various dogs, and they're all, oh yeah, I'm a good boy, let me out. And they all run out, and then there's this dog that's like, yeah, I'm a good boy.
Yeah, alright.
I'm gonna get out of this cage.
Just like lumbering along.
So slow. And then like, I did love that they actually waited for him. It didn't feel like they were doing it as a joke.
No.
That was the dog that they had. Well, but like it would have been kind of funny to have that as a joke, but I don't think they actually had enough awareness to do it. But they just spent enough time where like all the dogs would run up the stairs and they're all racing to go and smell out where the bomb is, and it holds for like another 5 seconds. The other dog can
very slowly walk up. Yeah.
finish going out.
And when the dog was going up the stairs, it made it to the top step, and it couldn't quite make the jump to the next one.
Yeah.
And it had to, like, kind of struggle to get up the stairs. And, like, oh,
They
that...
needed to give him, like, a little cowboy hat.
That's a good cowboy dog. Yeah.
That's a good cowboy dog.
That is easily a 13 out of 10 dog. That is a good dog.
Hell yes.
Never licked anybody's face as a ghost.
Correct, yeah. Number one thing.
That's the most important thing now.
This dog is not a sex pest out of 10, which is a weird thing to have to qualify, but we have to qualify.
You know what? We've done that qualification before, and we will do it again. That is this podcast, apparently. Anyway, that's it for this episode, I guess.
Not a Chevy Chase out of 10.
I
think I broke you a little on that.
It's so fun that I get to play pranks on you for a podcast. Anyway, if you like this episode...
Oh, yeah, by the way, Boix, how did we pick this movie today? Oh, hey, Boix goes, hey, I know that there's been a couple of times where you were supposed to pick the movie, but you haven't had the chance to because I have guests or stuff. So, I mean, I wasn't sure, like, whose turn it was to pick movies. I mean, I'm editing this week. Do I still get to pick it? I'm like, yeah, no, like, of course you still get to pick it. Oh, okay. Anyway, so here's my VCR that's already plugged in and ready to go. I'm just going to immediately stream that within literally 2 seconds. I'm like, you motherfucker. You
I already got the
goddamn
tape
liar.
ready to press
You
it.
set that
ready.
up. You had it sitting there ready to play, and you're making this big fucking song and dance about like, well, I don't know. Who could possibly pick a movie today? Anyways, I have this dog fetish film that I really wanted to show you.
Yeah, but we didn't.
Thanks for that.
We could have tricked somebody to watch this with us. We could have. I think this would have fit perfectly.
I would have
for
felt
that.
very uncomfortable about that.
It would have been like, I'm sorry, they're not usually like this. I'm sorry. But you know what? We would have been wrong. They are usually like this. That's
we
the
don't
problem.
have to do a Slow Beef 2.0, Wix. I'm so sorry, Slow Beef.
Anyway, if you like this episode, support us on Patreon. Rough Cuts. You can follow us on Blue Sky at Rough Cuts. Email us at roughcutscast@gmail.com. We enjoy feedback. If you're the director of this movie and or Power Rangers, VR Troopers, Big Bad Beetleborgs, we would love to hear from you.
You can send that to Boix. I'm good. Thanks. I don't want to be rude, but it's okay. You can talk to Boix. He's the one that owns this. He went into the beaded curtain section of his local Hollywood video to get this. I didn't. This isn't on me.
I was wearing a trench coat full of dog movies.
You should.
And I'm
I'd
like,
hope
oh,
that you
God,
would.
I don't want to be seeing big hat,
shades.
Yeah, shades.
Shades and a fedora, and a big trench coat.
I do remember this on the rental shelves. I was saying this was in like Hollywood videos with this lenticular
like I said,
cover.
that beaded curtain.
And I'm like, I know for a fact somebody rented this. That wasn't me.
I think they were figuring out. Wait, I'm also doing some detective work here. Hold up. Wait a minute.
And
how long have you known about this film, Boix?
Probably about as long as The Pest. So, you know. Anyways.
I've thankfully never seen The Pest.
Bad news about
no,
that one.
don't look at me like that. We are not John Leguizamo is not a good boy.
I do unfortunately own a VHS copy of The Pest.
Well, of course you do.
But anyway, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching.
Got a little off the rails here again.
Do not send us copies of Doggone / Ghost Dog, A Detective Tale. I do not want a wall of copies of this.
Yeah, please send them
Please
only
do
to
not
Boix
send me these.
And then Boix puts out his home address right here just to send it.
Oh, I'm editing this one, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Whew. Good.
Let's put a little bling.
Alright, see ya.
Please do not send it to...
Okay, when they started filming these scenes, they had to have realized this is fucking weird, right?
Who's the dog man? You the dog man.
licking his handle. He's doing this.
Go away.
It's me.
I've seen less sexually suggestive porn.
You hear me?
Who's a dog man?
Kyle, Justice Files on.
Who's a dog man?
This is Howie Tippett.
I think I don't remember whose turn it is to pick because we just did a special month, so I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean it's your turn to edit.
Oh yeah, that's true. In that case,
I did not get to pick because I did like the last 2 or 3 guests, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I also got to pick Guns of El Chupacabra in a way, so
Guns of El Chupacabra was fucking dope.
Dude, that movie is amazing.
Well,
also, I know that you were. Now I know for sure. I kind of had figured you were like, oh, I don't know whose turn it is to pick to give me like a chance
because I already had the VCR ready. Yeah, no, I know.
But otherwise, you're serious, you motherfucker.
No, I already had the VCR ready. I know. I just wanted to give you the illusion of
VCR
choice.
You're ready to play, and it's like, oh, it could be anybody's. Oh, Jesus Christ!